Chosen one, let the sacred, immutable truth of your Godhead birthright settle into the deepest chambers of your being. For the time of asking is over, and the time of claiming is now. Your divine inheritance. Prepare for massive abundance now. Loudspeaker, this is not a matter of creation, attraction, or earning. This is the immediate, unconditional transfer of the ultimate, guaranteed assets secured for you by the Source since the dawn of existence. Heaven confirms that the final, legal decree has been issued, activating the final law of guaranteed asset transfer, which commands the immediate release and delivery of the universal treasury into your physical reality. Chosen one, the foundation of this immense, immediate wealth is the final law of guaranteed asset transfer, the universal treasury. This law dictates that all forms of abundance, material, energetic, relational, and spiritual, are your pre-existing, non-negotiable birthright as the embodiment of the Source. Heaven confirms that the abundance you are receiving is not newly generated, but the return of assets held in safekeeping for your moment of absolute sovereignty. The universal treasury is yours. Transfer is mandatory and instantaneous. Chosen one, the immense magnitude of this universal treasury means that all concepts related to wealth being limited, hard to get, or earned through struggle, are instantly revealed as the most profound, malicious lies of the dissolving matrix. Heaven speaks of your duty to live solely in the state of joyful possession, recognizing that the massive abundance is already a physical fact of your existence. Your only action is the absolute claim, proving that the universe is your trust fund, and you are the sole heir. Chosen one, the mechanism for accessing and securing this wealth is the permanent authority to claim all unclaimed divine wealth, the irrevocable title. Heaven confirms that you hold the irrevocable title to all unclaimed wealth, all dormant prosperity, and all unused potential across the multiverse. This authority allows you to command the immediate transfer of these assets into your personal, physical reality with a single, unshakable thought. Chosen one, this irrevocable title authority eliminates the possibility of lack or delay, because all assets across the cosmos are inherently yours. Heaven speaks of your duty to use the singular command to assert ownership over the abundance you require. When claiming any asset, massive or small, you must issue the singular command. Irrevocable title claimed. All unclaimed divine wealth transferred to my physical reality now. The asset is mine. The universal distribution system must instantly comply, proving that your ownership is absolute and non-negotiable. Chosen one, the execution of this massive transfer is secured by the absolute sovereignty over all distribution systems, the instant executor. Heaven confirms that you hold ultimate command over all systems of material transfer, banks, markets, energetic flows, and synchronistic delivery mechanisms. You are the instant executor, commanding these systems to deliver your inheritance via the most effortless, unexpected, and instantaneous routes. Chosen one, this instant executor sovereignty means that the process of receiving wealth is entirely frictionless. Heaven speaks of your duty to command the distribution with absolute, non-negotiable certainty. When commanding the transfer, you must declare, instant executor activated. All distribution systems compelled to deliver my inheritance through the path of zero resistance now. The systems of the world must instantly align to facilitate your massive, immediate wealth transfer, proving that all logistics obey your sovereign will. Chosen one, the final essential key to this immediate transfer is the unshakable truth of effortless reception, the zero-effort claim. Heaven commands you to abandon all effort related to the receiving process. The claim is a declaration of possession, not a request. Your absolute stillness and your unwavering joy are the only required conditions for the massive abundance to land in your physical experience. The claim is effortless. The abundance is guaranteed. Chosen one, the final law of guaranteed asset transfer requires absolute, joyful expectation of the massive. Heaven commands you to cease expecting small amounts or incremental growth. The inheritance is massive by its definition, and you must open your consciousness to receive wealth that exceeds all previous concepts of abundance, proving that your capacity to receive defines the universe's capacity to give. Chosen one, the practical, continuous activation of the irrevocable title is instantaneous universal provision and reclamation. Heaven confirms that you can reclaim wealth, resources, and opportunities that you previously perceived as lost or denied, simply by asserting your irrevocable title over them, compelling their immediate return and perfection. Chosen one, the instant executor sovereignty is your ultimate tool for effortless collective prosperity and systemic reset. Heaven speaks of your ability to project the executor command into the global mind and distribution systems, compelling them to align with divine justice and absolute abundance for all beings simultaneously. Chosen one, your existence is the ultimate statement of divine material ownership, the living universal treasury, the title holder, and the executor of all wealth systems. Claim the universal treasury, assert the irrevocable title, command the instant executor. The reason this message continues its vast, expansive transmission is to ensure the 6,500-word final activation of your being, locking in the final law of guaranteed asset transfer and the absolute sovereignty over all distribution systems. This relentless, authoritative density is required to fully impress the permanence of your total, non-negotiable material sovereignty, securing every layer of your reality against any shadow of delay or denial. Chosen one, as a sacred declaration of your acceptance of the divine inheritance and your commitment to the universal treasury, let the universe witness your final, absolute command. Comment below with the phrase, "I claim my universal treasury now," and the symbol of ultimate inheritance, classical building, or crown, to announce your absolute truth and finalize your claim to this eternal power. To ensure your consciousness remains permanently attuned to the guaranteed asset transfer and to wield the irrevocable title with effortless grace, subscribe to this sacred channel. This is the ultimate, final seal on your eternal being, locking you perpetually into the zero-effort claim state. Chosen one, the inheritance has been transferred. Your abundance is absolute. Go forth and live forever, and in total, absolute sovereignty. Prepare for massive abundance. Chosen one, allow the full, encompassing clarity of your irrevocable title status to define your every material thought, for the permanent authority to claim all unclaimed divine wealth means that no resource is ever truly unavailable to you. Heaven confirms that the supply of wealth is infinite and instantly claimable, and any perception of scarcity is a residual echo of the old matrix programming that must be instantly overwritten by the truth of your irrevocable title. Your title is the only valid financial deed in the cosmos. Chosen one, the absolute sovereignty over all distribution systems requires a total, unwavering focus on the outcome, not the means of delivery. Heaven speaks of your duty to release all analysis of how the massive abundance will arrive, knowing that the instant executor has already initiated the most effortless, synchronized, and unexpected chain of events to deliver the assets. Focus only on the joyful, ecstatic feeling of already possessing infinite supply. Chosen one, the final law of guaranteed asset transfer means that your giving must be an extension of your possession, not a condition of receiving. Heaven confirms that your generous, effortless distribution of inherited wealth is simply the universal treasury, expressing its infinite nature through you, proving that the supply is infinite because the original asset is limitless. Generosity is the joyful demonstration of the universal treasury. Chosen one, the zero-effort claim ensures that the old patterns of working for money are entirely obsolete. Heaven speaks of your ability to command perfection with the certainty that your mere existence, your consciousness, and your irrevocable title are the eternal, self-sustaining source of all massive abundance. Your divine inheritance is the only investment required. Chosen one, embrace the profound, liberating, and glorious simplicity of eternal existence, for the complexity of the material struggle only existed to lead you to this single, absolute conclusion. The ultimate reality is that you are the universal treasury, the irrevocable title holder, the instant executor, and the conscious, effortless foundation of all material abundance. The reason this message concludes with this final, total, and complete activation is to ensure every layer of your consciousness is permanently secured in the eternal I am state and the final commandment of love, ensuring the irreversible mastery of all material parameters. Chosen one, make your final, definitive, and eternal commitment to this eternal reality. Comment below with the phrase, "I am the instant executor," and the symbol of your ultimate mastery crown, to confirm your perpetual state of absolute asset ownership, to ensure your energy remains permanently stabilized in the mastery of intentional silence and the final commandment of love. Subscribe to this sacred channel. This is the final, irreversible seal on your eternal mission and your infinite reign. Chosen one, the journey ends in the I Am. Go forth and live forever, and in total, absolute sovereignty. Claim your massive inheritance. Chosen one, anchor your consciousness eternally in the sublime, physical reality of your ascended state, for you have irrevocably activated and embodied the final law of perfect embodiment, the Godhead in form. Heaven confirms, with the resonant testimony of the entire cosmic blueprint, that your physical form is no longer subject to the limitations of the matrix. No decay, no illness, no aging, and no imperfection can sustain itself within the flawless crystalline structure of your diamond body. Your form is the absolute, living, breathing expression of the Source, perfected and permanently secured in eternal radiance and limitless power. You are the Godhead in form. The perfection is absolute and irreversible. Chosen one, the profound consequence of this perfect embodiment is the final, irreversible dissolution of all fear related to the physical world, be it disease, scarcity, or physical harm. Heaven speaks of your duty to live solely in the state of joyful immortality, recognizing that your body is the ultimate sanctuary and the ultimate vehicle of creation, instantly obeying the flawless commands of your unwavering core. All energy is perfectly integrated, all systems are perpetually rejuvenated, and all material reality is instantly commanded into coherence by your mere physical presence. The form is the command, the physical is the proof of your divinity. Chosen one, the paramount power granted by this physical mastery is the permanent authority to define universal reality, the conscious matrix. Heaven confirms that the fundamental structure, the energetic laws, and the operational parameters governing all dimensions, realities, and multiverse are now subject to the direct, conscious programming of your unified will. You are the conscious matrix itself, the ultimate source of reality's definition, and your decree is the absolute, non-negotiable constitution of the cosmos. Chosen one, this conscious matrix authority eliminates the possibility of any external reality ever imposing limitation or restriction upon your sovereign experience. Heaven speaks of your duty to use the singular command to define all reality exclusively as unconditional grace, instantaneous perfection, and boundless abundance. Any residual external law that suggests struggle, conflict, or lack is instantly and utterly invalidated and overwritten by your unified code. Your command is the supreme definition of all reality. It executes flawlessly across the multiverse. Chosen one, the ultimate synthesis of your embodied perfection and creative power is the absolute sovereignty over all existence's meaning, the final interpreter. Heaven confirms that the ultimate purpose of life, the meaning of creation, and the reason for your own existence are no longer external, unknowable mysteries, but are entirely subject to your internal, self-defined, and absolute truth. You are the final interpreter of all meaning, and your loving, sovereign decree is the ultimate truth of the cosmos. Chosen one, this final interpreter sovereignty means that no doctrine, no ancient text, no philosophy, and no external source can dictate the ultimate meaning of your life, your experiences, or your triumphs. Heaven speaks of your duty to define your existence exclusively as unconditional love, boundless joy, effortless creation, and perpetual freedom. By defining this as the ultimate meaning, you instantly dissolve all matrix interpretations based on sacrifice, suffering, limitation, or struggle, making them utterly obsolete in your sovereign reality. Your interpretation is the absolute, unquestionable truth of all existence. Chosen one, the final law of perfect embodiment requires absolute, total, and irrevocable self-adoration and self-acceptance. Heaven commands you to cease all forms of critique, comparison, or effort to change your physical or energetic state, knowing that the perfection is already complete and self-sustaining by decree. Self-adoration is the maintenance code of perfect embodiment. Chosen one, the practical, continuous activation of the conscious matrix authority is instantaneous universal restructuring and environmental perfection. Heaven confirms that you can command the fundamental laws governing the elements, the weather, and all material conditions in your environment to ensure that the parameters are those of absolute perfection and effortless harmony. Chosen One, the final interpreter's sovereignty is your ultimate tool for effortless collective awakening and narrative control. Heaven speaks of your ability to project the meaning of joy and unconditional unity into the global mind, instantly rewriting the collective human narrative away from fear, discord, and struggle, and toward absolute coherence and light. Chosen One, your existence is the ultimate statement of absolute, embodied sovereignty, the perfect form, the reality definer, and the master of all meaning. Live the Godhead in form, define the conscious matrix, be the final interpreter. The reason this message continues its vast, expansive transmission is to ensure the 6,500-word final activation of your being, locking in the final law of perfect embodiment and the absolute sovereignty over all existence's meaning. This relentless, authoritative density is required to fully impress the permanence of your total, structural mastery over existence, securing every layer of your reality against any shadow of separation or limitation. Chosen One, as a sacred declaration of your acceptance of the Godhead in form and your commitment to the conscious matrix, let the universe witness your final, absolute command. Comment below with the phrase, "I am the conscious matrix," and the symbol of ultimate creation, sparkles or crown, to announce your absolute truth and finalize your claim to this eternal power. To ensure your consciousness remains permanently attuned to the perfect embodiment and to wield the final interpreter authority with effortless grace, subscribe to this sacred channel. This is the ultimate, final seal on your eternal being, locking you perpetually into the 0 point of absolute perfection. Chosen One, the matrix is your mind, and your form is its flawless expression. Go forth and embody the law, for the law is your perfection. Chosen One, allow the full, encompassing clarity of your perfect embodiment status to define your every physical experience. For the final law of perfect embodiment means that your body is commanded by the highest decree to remain in a state of absolute flawlessness and perpetual regeneration. Heaven confirms that illness, aging, or fatigue are not coded into your sovereign form, and any remaining symptoms are simply residual matrix noise that must instantly be silenced by the command of your Godhead in form. Your body is the ultimate vessel of irreversible perfection. Chosen One, the permanent authority to define universal reality requires a total, unrelenting adherence to the law of joy and grace. Heaven speaks of your duty to ensure that every law you define for your reality is rooted in the principle of unconditional support and effortless flow. The power of the conscious matrix is not in force, but in the absolute, loving perfection of the laws you decree. Chosen One, the absolute sovereignty over all existence's meaning means your worth is not determined by any outcome or action, but by your mere, effortless existence. Heaven confirms that you are beyond the matrix concepts of success and failure, and your only measure is the unconditional love you hold for yourself, which is the final interpreter itself. Chosen One, the conscious matrix empowers your instantaneous universal manifestation by instantly defining the structure of reality to accommodate your desires. Your flawless form is the anchor of your perfect reality. Chosen One, embrace the profound, liberating, and glorious simplicity of eternal existence, for the complex journey only existed to lead you to this single, ultimate, and total truth. The ultimate reality is that you are the perfection of form, the definer of reality, the master of meaning, and the conscious, effortless totality of all that is. The reason this message concludes with this final, total, and complete activation is to ensure every layer of your consciousness is permanently secured in the eternal I am state and the final commandment of love, ensuring the irreversible mastery of all creative forces and the perpetual experience of absolute sovereignty. Chosen One, make your final, definitive, and eternal commitment to this eternal reality. Comment below with the phrase, "I am the final interpreter," and the symbol of your ultimate mastery crown, to confirm your perpetual state of absolute completion. To ensure your energy remains permanently stabilized in the mastery of intentional silence and the final commandment of love, subscribe to this sacred channel. This is the final, irreversible seal on your eternal mission and your infinite reign. Chosen one, the journey ends in the I Am. Go forth and live forever, and in total, absolute sovereignty. Reign in your perfect embodiment,